This is the Classic Baseball Broadcast Network, where we believe there is nothing like hearing about history from those who lived it. Listen to our full catalog of broadcasts at classicbaseballbroadcast.com. If you enjoy the podcast, please help me out and do one of three things. Follow, subscribe this podcast, and leave a review. It really helps. Share us with your baseball friends. Let them know about us. Or jump over to members.ThisDayInBaseball.com. Join our email list, community, and our family of baseball podcasts.
Out of field, Bill Robinson. In center field, Joe Pepitone. In right field, it's Andy Cusco. Bob Cox at third, Mickey Mantle at first. Tom Thresh and Horace Clark up the middle at short and second. Jake Gibbs does the catching. Steve Barber making his 17th start of the year. He's pitched 3 complete games and has 1 shutout. 1-6, lost 4. In 110 and 2/3 innings, Barber has given up 106 base hits, walked 51, struck out 78, has an earned run average of 2.68. His only decision this year with the Tigers was a loss. In that ball game in Detroit, Barber was victimized by some loose fielding behind him, and most of the runs he gave up were unearned runs. The Detroit Tigers won the ball game 8-1. Of the 8 runs, only 3 were earned. Here we go with Mickey Stanley leading off, and the first pitch of the game comes in high, ball 1, and we're underway. Stanley batting .256. 14 doubles, 6 triples, 10 homers, 51 runs batted in. Barber's next pitch. Strike is called. It was Stanley who had a grand slam home run against Barber in that game in Detroit. That accounted for so many unearned runs. The inning should have been over. Little problem out at second base, Horace Clark. Requesting time. I believe he has a little equipment problem here. The sunglasses, the strap may have broken or something. So Clark comes over for some more sunglasses. I had not seen an umpire call time. The batter, Stanley, had stepped out. Plate umpire Springstead looked around at him, and Stanley pointed toward Clark, who was walking off the field. I'm sure Horace had requested time, though, from first base umpire John Flaherty. Barber turns at the bill of his cap, looks at the baseball, now throws the rubber, looks down to Gibbs. He has a 1-ball, 1-strike count on Stanley, first batter in this afternoon's first game. The windup, and here's the pitch. Inside, makes it 2-1. Dick Tracewski is on deck. Stanley has gone 3 for 15 so far in this series. There's a line drive back past Barber and on into center field for a base hit. Stanley, a big swing around first, stops. Barber stuck his left hand out in the direction of that line drive, and he can be thankful the ball did not hit it. It was well hit when it passed the mound. So the leadoff man is on, and Tracewski, the shortstop, steps in. Tracewski batting .162. Right-hand hitter. Takes the pitch at the knees for a called strike. Barber has won 4 of his last 5 decisions, 6-4 for the year. Missed his turn Friday night due to a sore arm, but the Sonnets had gone by today. He deals Tracewski, who fouls it to the seats on the first base side. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Doubleheader this afternoon, doubleheader tomorrow night, doubleheader Tuesday afternoon. That time of year, isn't it? The Yankees have won 10 of their last 13 games, hoping to keep that streak going this afternoon against the league leaders, the Detroit Tigers. Tigers leading by 6.5 games over Baltimore. Stanley leads at first at pitch. Tracewski lines it foul to the left side. Ball hit the fence in front of the box seats past the third base dugout. Jammed all the way out into left field. A real shot, but foul. In case you did not hear last night's scores, the Orioles beat Boston by a score of 6-3 and gained a full game on Detroit. Baltimore now 6.5 games back. And there's still 6 games to be played between Baltimore and Detroit. 0-2 pitch. High to Trubisky. A ball and 2 strikes. One-two pitch coming just outside. He checked his swing, and it's ball 2. This is the only doubleheader in the American League this afternoon. Barber ready to work. And the 2-2 pitch to Trubisky almost hit him, low and inside. Full count, 3-2. We'll see whether they have Stanley running or not. He goes. Play pitch is low, ball 4. Barber lost him after having him 0-2. Stanley goes to second. Trubisky draws a walk. The batter will be the right fielder, Al Kaline. Kaline is hitting .270. He has 8 home runs, 44 runs batted in. Yankees play the infield in 1/3 and up the middle. Pepitone plays the rather shallow center field against Kaline. Robinson backed up and left. Out in right field, Costco skated over toward the alley in right center. Gibbs went to the mound to talk to Barber, comes back. Mantle deep at first. Scott at third, a step behind the bag, and not close to the line. Scott's play is fairly wide on most hitters. Barber checks second. Here's his pitch. It is in there for a strike 1. Kaline ran his hands up the bat handle, but was taking rather than bluffing a bunt. Stretched by Barber, and here's the pitch to Kaline, high and outside, and Gibbs had to move for it. Al Kaline with 312 lifetime home runs. Tigers' best all-around player in many years. Probably the best outfielder in the American League in the last 10 years or so. One pitch to him. Luke out into left field. It's going to be in for a base hit. 1 run will score. Robinson chases the ball down. In to score is Stanley. Trubisky goes to third, and Kaline holds the first base for the single. The Tigers lead 1-0. Kaline gets his 3rd hit of the series, his 45th run batted in, and now Willie Horton, always a dangerous hitter. Horton is batting .276. Only 2 men in the American League have hit more home runs than Horton. Frank Howard and Ken Harrelson. Horton has 30. 66 runs batted in. Strong right-hand batter. Swings and misses, strike 1. There's still nobody out here in the first inning. Runners lead away. The infield back at double play depth. The pitch outside to Horton. 1 ball and 1 strike. Trubisky at third. Kaline at first. Infield playing to give up the run and try to get the double play on a ground ball. Up high, ball 2, 2-1. Suzuki at third, Kaline at first. Pitch to Horton, swing and a miss. Barber got the fastball by him, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Horton homered for the only run yesterday afternoon for Detroit. Hit a ball deep into the Tiger bullpen, out past the left field fence. Ball had been hit more towards center, would have been in the left field bleachers, which we talk about so often, so few balls having been hit out there. I believe only one this year, one by Costco. Maybe another one. Costco's the only one I recall. 2-2 pitch. High. Full count, 3-2 now on Willie Horton. They'll probably have Kaline running. Top of the first, Tigers with a run across. Runners at the corners. Barber takes the sign from Gibbs. Looks over to first. Here's the pitch. Kaline does not go, and it's high, ball 4. Bases are loaded. So, manager Ralph Houck is on his way to the mound now to see if Barber's arm is paining him or whether he is just having an ineffective first inning for other reasons. Walking with Barber back to the mound. Gibbs standing down on the grass, and Barber stays in. Bill Freehan, the first baseman, steps in. Freehan is hitting .248, 19 home runs, 66 runs batted in. Bases loaded, nobody out, the infield bat. Barber has given up 2 hits and 2 walks and 1 run. He starts to move, full motion, here's the pitch. Freehan hits a ground ball to third. Cox has it, steps on third. And the throw to the plate hits Suzuki in the back. Bounces over toward the street. Suzuki scores. Kaline scores. And on to third base on the whole play went Willie Horton. They had the double play, but Cox hit Suzuki with the throw to the plate. Gibbs talking to the plate umpire, possibly about interference on the runner coming home. Oh, they had the double play and should have had 2 outs there, but the throw home hits the runner. Kaline is out at third. He does not score. Kaline was out at third. Suzuki scores. Horton goes to third, and 2 runs are in. 1 on that play. Freehan, a fielder's choice and a run batted in. Scoreboard shows 3 runs. Only 2 came in, though, because Kaline was out at third base. Here's the pitch now to John Wirth. Strike called over at the knees. Cox fielded the ball near the bag, stepped on third, which did force Kaline. Then he threw home, trying to get Suzuki, and his throw home hit Suzuki. Barber deals. There's a foul back on the netting. No balls and 2 strikes on John Wirth. The infield stays back. Willie Horton is at third base, and Freehan on all the action, running straight down the line at first. Made it no farther. Kaline, even though being forced at third, came down the line, stepped on the plate, but his run does not count. He was out. The pitch. Wirth swings and misses. Strike 3. Joe Barber has 2 down here in the first inning. The batter will be the catcher, Jim Bright. the right-hand batter, hitting 176. He's had 2 home runs, 11 runs batted in. At times during the season, manager Mayo Smith has put Freon at first base, kept Kaline in the outfield, and used Price as the catcher to stack the right-hand hitters in his lineup. Kaline, though, has become more and more the backup first baseman, so to speak, for Norm Cash, or the right-hand hitting first baseman. Pitch to Price. Line drive, one hop by Bobby Cox at third. He throws over to Mantle, and the side is retired. Tigers come up, though, with 2 runs on 2 hits. There were no errors. Check that. There was 1 error. The throwing error by Cox at third. And 2 men are left on base. At the end of 1/2 inning of play, the score, the Tigers 2 and the Yankees coming to bat. The Detroit Tigers have a long top half of the first inning in which they scored 2 runs on 2 hits, a Yankee throwing error, and 2 men left. And now the bottom half of the first inning, the Yankees go against slender right-hander Pat Dobson. Dobson has a record of 3-5, no decisions this year or lifetime against the Yankees. Dobson, in one game against the Yankees this year, pitched 5 2/3 innings of relief and retired 16 men in a row. He's dealing to Horace Clark, and the first pitch hit on the ground to the shortstop. Krzyzewski is up with it. Throws on to first base, 1 out. Jake Gibbs will bat. While Clark was hitting .221, Gibbs is batting .223 as he steps in. 72 hits on the year, 10 doubles, 3 triples, 2 home runs, and 24 runs batted in. Gibbs also owns 8 stolen bases, leading all Major League catchers to my knowledge. He runs up as if to bunt and takes a strike 1. Mickey Mantle kneeling on deck. The 0-1 pitch to Gibbs. Bouncer right back to the pitcher, Dobson. He flags it down. Shot puts it over to first base. That's all for Gibbs. 2 out. And now the Knicks. Dobson's first pitch to Mantle. Inside, ball 1. Mickey batting left-handed. 16 homers, 44 runs batted in. His next home run will break the tie with Jimmy Fox and put Mantle in 3rd place all by himself on the all-time list. Pitch to him. Strike is called, and it's 1-1. In all probability, Mantle will not play the second game of the doubleheader today, but would be available in it for pinch hitting duties. Mickey's last home run came as a pinch hitter. 1-1 pitch to him. Popped up high in the air on the left side in foul territory. The third baseman, Wirt, waiting for it. Near the line, makes the catch just in foul ground. So for the Yankees, a 3-up, 3 down, nothing across innings. At the end of 1, the score is Detroit 2 and New York nothing. Tigers lead off the second with their second baseman, Tom Machick. Machick. Machick rejoined the club from his military unit in time for yesterday's ball game. Machick hails from Hazleton, Pennsylvania. Before he steps in, Barber has yet to complete his warm-up throws. On New York Yankee baseball, let's pause for station identification.
Hi, this is Jerry Ducey. Join me for my telephone talk show, weeknights here at 810 on your dial, WGY Schenectady.
Tom Machick had a sensational spring training last year in 1967. He had 484 in the spring training game. Spent the year at Toledo, batted .289, came up with the Tigers in time to get 6 times at bat and have 1 base hit. Coming into this ball game, Magic is hitting .205. He's a left-hand batter. Barber's first pitch to him. Fouled away to the seats on the left side. Just missed the facing of the upper deck. Oh, it bounced down off the dugout roof and back on the field. Now, those fouls that bounce back, you feel like, well, somebody's been cheated just a little bit, don't you? None of the other games yet underway. Boston at Baltimore, Cleveland at Washington, Minnesota at Chicago, and California at Oakland, all single games. Pitch to Magic. A ball just a bit high. 1-1. Barber winds and throws. There's a ground ball toward Clark. Horace has it going to his right. Throws over to Mantle. In time, 1 out. They'll bring up the pitcher, Pat Dobson. Dobson is hitting .174. Detroit leading by a score of 2-0. Dobson has been up 23 times this year. He has 4 base hits, 1 run batted in. Barber pitches. Dobson takes the ball outside. Right-hand batter. He bats just as he throws. This is Dobson's 9th start. He looks at a strike over at the knees. He has relieved 29 times. He has completed 1 game and has 1 shutout to his credit. This is the first time Dobson had ever started against the Yankees. Barber's pitch. Strike 2 call with a fastball. One-two delivery. Get up in the air out into right field. Backing off for it. Andy Costco near the warning track. He makes the catch. Costco had to backpedal in a hurry to catch up with that one. Mickey Stanley steps in. He led off the first inning with a single up the middle past Barber and scored the first of 2 runs for the Detroit Tigers. Pitch turn is outside, ball 1. Wind up in the pitch. Strike on the outside corner makes it 1 ball, 1 strike. The Tigers playing this series against the Yankees without their regular second baseman, Dick McAuliffe, who was suspended for his part in the fracas on Thursday. Outside pitch makes it 2 balls and 1 strike. McAuliffe and Tommy John, the pitcher for the Chicago White Sox, got into a bit of a brawl. Both were thrown out of the ball game. And McAuliffe wound up with a 5-day suspension and a rather heavy fine. Two-one pitch to him. Ground ball hit to the shortstop, Stretch. He digs it off the right ankle, throws over to first base in time. Stanley is out and throws the side. Barber gets the Tigers in order. Nothing across, and at the end of 1.5 innings of play, the score is Detroit 2 and New York nothing. For the second inning, the Yankees have the middle third of the batting order, Pepitone, Costco, and Stretch. Pepitone is hitting .244, 13 home runs, 46 runs batted in. In all fairness to Joe, you'd have to say he's had a pretty good year, considering the fact that he's missed well over 40 games because of injuries. The first pitch to him. Outside, ball 1. Pepitone, one of the more controversial ball players, one of the more colorful players in the league. The pitch. Swing and a miss. He swung at a pitch right in on his fifth. 1 ball and 1 strike. Pepitone steps out. He wants the rosin bag. Gets it from Andy Costco, who is on deck. The Yankees with 10 wins in their last 13 games. One of the warmer clubs in the league right now. The pitch to Pepitone. Third is swung on and missed, strike two. Yankees' best streak before this was when they won 8 out of 9, May 19th through the 30th. Came into this game 2 games under 500, the first time since Memorial Day, May 30th, that they were that close. The pitch coming. Foul back, and the count holds at 1-2. Yankees have won 61 and lost 63. Closest team above them, Oakland, has won 66 and lost 62. The A's are 3 games ahead of the Yankees. 1-2 pitch coming. Pepitone lines it down the right field side. If it's a fair ball, it's a base hit. It's a foul ball when it comes down. Not deep enough to reach the seat, but it could have gone for extra bases had it been fair. A ball and 2 strikes, the count remains. Pepitone got around well on the pitch. Pulled it just a bit too much. Pepitone has said several times this year that he himself feels he's a better hitter after he has 2 strikes on him. Next pitch coming, fouled away. Back to the upper deck. None of the other games yet underway. One-two to Pepitone. Line drive, caught by a Freehan at first base. A leaping catch by Bill Freehan to take a base hit away from Pepitone. And now Andy Costco. Costco had a good first third of the season and tailed off during the middle third, and during the last third of the season he's picked up again. Costco is batting .230, 13 home runs, 48 runs batted in. Pitch to him is low outside, ball 1. Costco's 48 runs batted in, tops on the club. 2 ahead of Pepitone, 4 ahead of Mantle, 3 ahead of Frick. 1-0 pitch. Third ball is hit high in the air on the shallow center. Coming hard is Stanley. This ball may drop. And it is in there for a base hit. Costco racing to second. He's in standing with a double. Mickey Stanley did not get a good jump on the ball. He got to it, got his glove on the ball, but it kicked off his glove. It cannot be charged as an error. He came a long way. If he'd started a half a step sooner, he might have caught it. But Stanley did not get a good jump on it, and Costco has a double. Yankees' first hit of the game. John Fresh to batter. Fresh hitting .197. Nonetheless, has driven in 45 runs, has 11 homers. The pitch to him. Serve for a strike 1. Fresh with 79 hits, 13 doubles, 3 triples, 11 homers. One pitch. Down low with another breaking ball. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Out in center field, Stanley is shaded well over toward the alley in right center. Kaline plays straight away in deep right field, and Horton moves over to his left, over toward center. Infield shaded to the right side or the first base side against Stretch. The pitch, he pops it up on the right side, backing off. The second baseman, Macick, he's under it, makes the catch back in the grass. 2 down. And now Bill Robinson. Robinson playing left field today in place of Roy White. Roy is attending an Army Reserve meeting and will miss both games of today's doubleheader. White will be back for the doubleheader tomorrow night against the California Angels. Dobson working off the stretch. Checks Costco over the right shoulder. Here's the pitch. Robinson looks at the curve, and a strike 1 is called. Robinson hitting .217. He has 47 hits, 11 doubles, 5 triples, and 3 home runs. Next pitch is a ball down low, 1-1. Robinson and Roy White each have 5 triples to lead the club in that department. Set by Pat Dobson. Here's his pitch. Looping third is high. Detroit leading 2-0 here in the bottom half of the second. Costco at second base, 2 out. Robinson got a little dirt on his hand. Steps in again against Dobson. And the 2-1 pitch to him. Check swing, ball 2. Check that, make it ball 3. Dobson and Price, the catcher, both questioning the call with plate umpire Marty Springstead. This is Pat Dobson, a native of Depew, New York. 26 years old, 6'3", 190. He deals, Robinson takes a strike called, and the count is full, 3-2. Dobson throws the rubber. Staring in at Price. The set and the pitch. Low and outside. Ball 4, and Robinson walks. The first walk given up by Dobson. The Yankees have runners at first and second. And the batter is Bobby Cox. Cox batting at .226, has hit 5 home runs, driven in 31 runs. He also has 11 doubles and 1 triple. First pitch to him, down low. Ball 1. Costco at second, Robinson at first, 2 outs. 1 ball, no strike pitch to Bobby Cox. Dobson throws. Curveball is fouled over toward the left side on the ground. 1 ball, 1 strike. Detroit leading 2-0. Bottom half of the second. 1-1 pitch to Cox. High and tight with a breaking ball. 2-1. Price, the catcher, is called time. Goes out to the mound. Jimmy Price is from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. 25 years old. Price was quite a high school football star. 25 colleges were after him. He decided to play professional baseball instead of going to college. Gives the sign. 2-1 pitch will be coming down to Bob Cox. Here it is. He hits it high in the air out into right field. K-line going back. Has it measured and has it in his glove to retire the side. For the Yankees, no runs, 1 hit. No errors, 2 men left on. And at the end of 2 innings, the score is Detroit 2 and the Yankees nothing. We go to the 3rd inning. Dick Trzeski will lead off for Detroit. Then Al Kaline and Willie Horton. Well, the Cleveland Indians have broken on front against the Senators on a first-inning home run by Jose Cardinal. Sam McDowell pitching for Cleveland. Barry Moore for Washington. The Cardinal homer, the only run for Cleveland in the first, and now the Senators have come to bat. Dick Trzeski drew a walk and also scored a run in the first inning. The only walk Barber has given up. Check that. He's given up 2 walks. He also walked Horton in the first inning. Detroit leading 2-0. There's a strike over the outside corner. Trzeski, a right-hand batter. Just missed the corner that time and a ball. Manager Mayo Smith able to stack his lineup with right-hand hitters in this ball game. All but the second baseman, Tom Macick. 1-1 pitch. Fastball is low and inside, almost hit him. Got past Gibbs and all the way to the backstop. Talked to Barber before the game this afternoon. Asked him about the sore arm. He said, right now it feels great. He said the reason for the soreness and swelling had been explained to him by Yankee team physician, Dr. Gaynor. But it was one of those things that would come suddenly but could also leave just as suddenly. And before the game today, he felt fine. 2-1 pitch. Fastball missed outside, and the count is 3-1 to Dick Trzeski. Barber said he did not know, of course, how the arm would feel once he started throwing. 3-1 delivery. Line to left field, base hit. Bill Robinson over near the corner fields it. Trzeski holds on to first base with a single. Hit number 3 for the Detroit Tigers, and the batter will be Al Kaline. Kaline in the first inning with runners at first and second drilled a single to left to score the first run, or drive in the first run. Mattel holding against Trzeski. Barber deals Kaline. There's a line drive into center field for a base hit. Fielded by Pepitone, and he throws into second base as Trzeski races to third, and Kaline is 2 for 2. The top of the batting order, giving Barber trouble today. Stanley, Trzeski, and Kaline accounting for the 4 base hits the Tigers have. And now Willie Horton, who drew a walk in the first inning. Nobody out. The infield back at double play depth. Again, conceding the runner at third to try to get the double play. Horton swings and misses. Strike 1. No balls and a strike to Willie Horton. 3-on is on deck. The runners edge away. The step, the pitch. Inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Willie Horton grew up in Detroit. He was quite a high school football and baseball star. Signed in 1962. 1-1 pitch. High, ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike. Willie Horton signed a professional contract when he was 18 years old. He was born in Virginia but was raised in Detroit. I believe I said he was born and raised there. He was born in Virginia, but the family moved to Detroit at a very young age for Willie. He bounces a foul off his left foot. Rolls slowly down the third base line, and the count is 2 balls, 2 strikes.
The game continues at the beginning of side 2 after a short delay.
Tigers scouts first started looking at Willie Horton when he was just 14 years old. When he was 16 years old, in a game at Tiger Stadium, he hit a home run into the right field pavilion. And when the Detroit Tiger scouts saw that, they said they had to sign him, and they signed him 2 years later. And 2 strikes to Horton. Trozewski at third, Kaline at first. Barber looks in to Gibbs. Starts his move, checks the base runners. Here's the pitch to Horton. High and outside. Ball 3. Barber's off-speed pitch riding high and up, or high and outside. Usually to a right-hand batter, it will break down and away. So the string runs out on Horton. We'll see if Kaline is going. Last time we had this situation, Kaline did not run. That was in the first inning. Trozewski at third, Kaline at first. Mantle holding against Al. The set by Barber. Kaline does not go. Horton hits a ground ball. Base hit down the third baseline. Comes off in the left field. Gets by Bill Robinson. Trozewski scores. Kaline will score. Horton is in at second base with a double. And Detroit leads 4-0. That ball was hit just down the third baseline. May have even hit the bag. It was that close. And streamed on into left field after coming off the railing in front of the box seats down on the left field corner. It actually bounced by Bill Robinson. Bill might have had a play on Kaline had he fielded the ball cleanly and left. Robinson has a fine arm. Rocky Colavito running out toward the Yankee bullpen. Colavito may be going out to warm up to come in and pitch. That is very true because Houck has said that if ever he felt a game was out of reach, rather than waste a bullpen man, and now with the doubleheaders piling up, he might consider it wasteful to bring in a regular bullpen man. He said that he would use Colavito as a pitcher under those circumstances. Bill Freehan steps in, the Tigers leading 4-0, with Horton at second, still nobody out. Barber's pitch to Freehan, low for a ball 1. Houck has 2 non-pitchers who can pitch, if you know what I mean. Colavito is one, and Gene Michael is the other. 1-0 pitch. Freehan takes a ball outside. 2-0. It was a blessing for the bullpen yesterday, really, when Stottlemyre went all the way. They didn't have a single man warming up in the bullpen all afternoon. And every once in a while, your bullpen needs a rest like that. 2-0 pitch coming to Freehan. Here it is. It's in there for a strike. Makes it 2-1. Detroit in front, 4-0. Washington tied Cleveland 1-1 at the end of 1. Barber starts his move. 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss by Freehan, strike 2. Speaking of Colavito going out to the bullpen to warm up, on the road, he and Steve Barber are roommates. Now, do you suppose they talk about pitching or talk about hitting? balls, 2 strikes to Bill Freehan. The pitch to him. Ground ball foul off the left side. Freehan knocked in a run in the first inning. Check that on Freehan. I said he batted in a run. That's right. The run scored on the throwing error of Cox, the throw that hit Krzyzewski in the back. That's right. So there was no run batted in for Freehan in that inning. Pitch to him. Outside. Ball 3. Full count, 3-2. Tigers now leading 4-0. Barber starts his move, checks Horton at second. Here's the pitch. Hit on the ground to Cox. He knocks it down, checks Horton back, throws to first base. In time at first. Freehan is out. So twice in his many at-bats, Freehan has hit a hard ground shot at Cox. While he knocked this one down, came up with it in time to check Horton back to second and throw Freehan out at first. Colavito warming up in the Yankee bullpen. He pitched 2 innings in an exhibition game against Syracuse back in late July. Struck out 1, gave up no runs and no hits. He does know how to get to the mound. John Wirth, the third baseman, struck out his first trip. Fouled one at the plate, strike 1. Right now in New York Yankee baseball, let's pause for station identification.
This is Bill Edwardson. Join me for breakfast every morning at 7. Here on WGY 810 on your dial, Schenectady.
No balls and a strike to Don Wirth. There's 1 out. Horton is the runner at second base. He doubled. Barber looks him over. Here's the pitch to Wirth. Check swing, ground ball. Slowly hit towards Fresh. The shortstop has it. Makes his throw to first in time. Horton goes to third. Wirth is out. Short to first. 2 away. The batter will be the catcher, Jim Price. The right-hand batter grounded out to Cox at third, his first time up. Horton is the runner at third. Barber's pitch to Price. Over but low, ball 1. Price has been in 50 games prior to this. He's been at bat 109 times. Barber throws. He hits a high fly ball down the left field side. Over to the corner goes Bill Robinson, makes the catch in fair territory, and the side is retired. Bill Robinson, right at the foot of the foul pole in the left field corner, retires Price. The Tigers get 2 runs on 3 hits. There were no errors, and 1 man is left on base. So at the end of 2.5 innings of play, the score is Detroit 4 and the Yankees nothing. Move along to the bottom half of the third inning. Steve Barber leads off for the Yankees. Barber, Clark, and Gibbs. Pat Dobson on the mound for Detroit has a 4-run lead. And the first pitch to Barber. Strike, 1 is called. Barber has been up 34 times this year without a base hit. Next pitch, fastball, strike 2 called. No balls, 2 strikes. See if Dobson waits 1. He does, high and inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Slow breaking curveball. Horace Clark on deck, and then Jake Gibbs. 1-2 pitch on the way. Inside fastball makes it 2-2. And the 2-2 pitch coming. Barber fouls it off the shin guards of Jim Price, the catcher. Barber steps away, and let's see, he wants the rosin bag, I believe. Very warm, very humid afternoon. A lot of perspiration comes dripping down the arms, around the wrist, getting the hand. So Barber wanted to get it away with the rosin. He steps in again with a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Nobody on, nobody out. Dobson has the sign. Here's his pitch. Barber, it's a ground ball to the right side. Base hit into right field. Past Magic, and Barber has his first hit of the year. Hit number 2 for the Yankees. Barber is on with a leadoff single. Had a little chat with first base coach Whitey Ford. That's the essence of the conversation was, who says pitchers can't hit? Freon will not hold him on at first. Clark steps in, sends a foul back toward the mezzanine level. Up into the press box instead. Now Dobson, the pitcher, wants a towel brought out to him. Dobson mops his face, his hands, his wrists, and his arms. Here in the broadcast booth, our thermometer shows 92 degrees. Very, very humid. There's a breeze, but we don't feel any of it in here. See the flag rippling pretty well on the roof. 1 strike pitch to Clark. Just outside. Makes it 1-1. Barber, the runner at first. Freehan playing in halfway. 1-1 deal. Outside and high. 2 balls and a strike. Crowd getting into the game now. Here's the pitch. High. The clock, ball 3. And the crowd gets a little more rambunctious. Hoping for a Yankee rally here in the 3rd inning. Barber at first, nobody out. Detroit is leading 4-0. The pitch to Clark, strike called. It's full 3-2. Salavino is no longer warming up in the Yankee bullpen. Looking out there, we can see him with a jacket over his right arm. He had been throwing. 3-2 pitch will be coming to Clark. Here it comes. Ground ball to hit toward Magic, the second baseman. He tags Barber. Barber knocks him down. He makes no throw to first base. Now let's see if they're going to call the runner out for interference. They will call it a double play. First base umpire Flaherty did not call it. Bob Stewart, the second base umpire, did. And now Crosetti racing across from the third base catching box, arguing. So is Houck arguing. Magic tagged Barber. The fear that Barber threw a shoulder into him, knocked him down. Magic made no throw then to first base on Clark. But Bob Stewart has ruled a double play, charging interference by Barber. Carries the argument to Bob Stewart. Crosetti very seldom argues in a game, but Crosetti came charging across the diamond to put up an argument.
Magic tagged Barber, and Clark is called out for Barber's interference. That is the ruling by Bob Short. And technically, it will go in the book as an unassisted double play for the second baseman. Jake Gibbs swings in the first pitch, bounces a fair ball down to first, freehand, scoops it up behind the bag, makes the play unassisted, and the side is retired. No runs, one hit, no errors, nobody left on base. And now at the end of 3 innings of play, the scoreboard total show the Yankees, no runs, 2 hits, 1 error. The Tigers, 4 runs, 5 hits, and 1 error. The Yankees in the loss column trail Oakland by 1, and they trail Cleveland and Boston by only 2 games in the loss column. Then come the Minnesota Twins in 6th place, California 7th, Chicago 8th, Chicago 9th, and Washington is 10th. Yankees 5th, the Yankees 6th, Minnesota 7th, California 8th, Chicago 9th, and Washington 10th. And now we go to the top half of the 4th inning. Leading off is Tom Magic. Barber's first pitch is over for a strike. The wind-up, the next pitch, blown away. Evens the count at 1-1. Magic with part of the Yankee Stadium infield on the back of his uniform. Pitch, foul back. Well, the press box has just informed us that plate umpire Marty Springstead, who was not involved in the Barber Magic play a moment ago, said that it was ruled a double play because Barber had elbowed Magic, knocked him down, and prevented Magic from making what Springstead called the automatic double play. All right, a 1-2 pitch now to Magic. Ground ball hit toward Clark. To his left, he has it. Throws over to Mantle in time, and there's 1 out. I didn't see Barber's elbow. It looked like he threw a little bit of a shoulder maybe into Magic. But anyway, Magic hit the deck, and the double play was ruled. Here's Dobson, the pitcher. Takes outside, ball 1. Dobson is a right-hand batter. Tigers leading 4-0. Barber winds, kicks, and throws. High and outside, ball 2. Yankees in 6th place lead the 7th place Minnesota Twins by 3 full games after Minnesota split a twin bill with Chicago. Evening, Chicago winning 4-2 in the first game, Minnesota 9-1 in the nightcap. Barber misses outside, and he's behind 3-0 now to his opposing pitcher, Pat Dobson. Dobson lofted a fly ball to right field his first time up. Barber takes the sign, kicks and throws, strike called at 3-1. Dobson steps back, looks down to third base coach Tony Cuccinello to see if the take is on. Wally Moses coaches at first base for Detroit. We'll know in a moment. Here's the 3-1 pitch. He takes ball 4. It's outside, and Dobson draws a walk. That is the third walk given up by Barber. He has struck out 1. The batter now is Mickey Stanley. The center fielder singled in the first inning, scored the first run. He grounded out in the second.
The double play on the hard clock is 4-4-3. In accordance with baseball rule 10-10, paragraph 7.
Stanley takes a strike. The official score now says that the double play a moment ago in which Barber knocked down Magic at second will be scored 4-4-3. 1 strike pitch to Stanley. Swung on and missed, strike 2. So Magic will be credited with a put out and an assist. and free in at first base gets a put-out. 0-2 pitch to Stanley. Check swing, and it's high for a ball, 1-2. Checks first for Dobson. Here's his pitch. Foul back. Right off the end of the bat. Stanley tried to check his swing and could not. Mantle at first base, playing back, not holding against Dobson. Barber looks and deals, and the pitch bounces off the plate. Gibbs has no idea where it is. Dobson races on down to second. Gibbs picks it up behind the dish. And it's a wild pitch. Charge to Barber. So Dobson moves to second, eliminating the possibilities of the regular double play. The count has gone 2-2 on Stanley. Barber in the move. And the pitch coming low for ball 3 and a full count. Top of the fourth. Tigers 4, the Yankees nothing. Pat Dobson, the runner at second, 1 out. 3-2 pitch to Stanley. Lined out into center field, and it's in for a base hit. And it's off Pepitone's glove. By the time he picks it up, there'll be no play at the plate. Dobson scores, and the Tigers lead 5-0. Ball hit in front of Pepitone, kicked off to his right. He knocked it down with a gloved hand. Had to stop there and pick it up, and that eliminated any chance of a play at the plate, if there would have been one anyway. There is no error on it. It's a run batted in for Stanley. It's now Detroit 5 and New York nothing, with Dick Suzuki the batter. Suzuki has been up twice, he's been on twice, and he has scored twice. And the first pitch to him is a ball. He walked in the first inning, singled in the third. Mantle holding against Stanley at first base. Barber's next pitch. Line to center field, base hit. Stanley down around second, stop as Pepitone fields it cleanly and rifles it into stretch. And here comes manager Ralph Hawk on his way to the mound. Is talking with Barber and Gibbs, and now makes the motion toward the bullpen, and let's see who he's going to bring in. Will it be Colavito? Still waiting for somebody to come through the gate. It will be Colavito. Rocky Colavito. Will be making his first pitching appearance for the Yankees. He did pitch once before in a regular league game for the Cleveland Indians. So Colavito will take his turn on the mound. Listen to the crowd. Barber has gone 3 1/3 innings. Gave up 7 hits, walked 3, struck out 1, and has been charged with 5 runs. Calavito got quite a reception when he came on. He throws fastballs. That's about all. He pitched, as we told you, 2 innings against Syracuse in an exhibition game on July 25th. We talked to Ralph Houck about his impression of Calavito as a pitcher, and Houck said he surprised me in the fact that he could get the ball over the plate. He did not give up any runs or any hits. He struck out 1 batter. And as he takes his warm-up throws, he's fired in pretty good to Jake Gibbs. It looks like his fastball is sinking. And by strange coincidence, the first man he faces will be Al Kaline. So Rocky Calavito, who has, through his career, been known more for hitting home runs than trying to prevent home runs from being hit, comes on to pitch for the Yankees. Calavito with 371 career home runs in 15th place on the home run, all-time home run list, coming on this afternoon as a pitcher for the Yankees. He'll work to Kaline. With runners at first and second, 1 out, 1 run across, and Detroit leading 5-0. Shortstop Tom Thresh has come into the mound to confer with Calavito. And this is going to be interesting to watch. Let's see what happens. As Calavito pitches to Kaline. He stretches, very short stretch. Looks back to second. And the pitch. Strike is called. Listen to the fans. You think this isn't a joyful bunch out here today? Here the Yankees are behind 5-0, but you get something new to get their interest up. Calavito pitching for only the 2nd time in his major league career and his first time for the Yankees. One strike pitch. A blooper pitch way up high. A ball and a strike. Now Gibbs goes out to check with him. I talked to Rocky about the one time that he did relieve in a league game for Cleveland. He said, "You know who I relieved? Dwight Wilhelm." It was just before Wilhelm was traded to Baltimore. 1-1 pitch. Outside fastball. The game in which Calavito did his other relief pitching job was also against Detroit. Here's the pitch. Hit on the ground toward Thresh. Tommy has only 1 play to first base in time to get Kaline. The runners move up as Kaline grounds out to Thresh. Stanley goes down to third base. Trzaskowski is on at second, and the batter will be Willie Horton. Horton has walked and doubled and driven in 2 runs. He's down low with a fastball to Horton. Ball 1. Joe Gordon was managing Cleveland when Rocky Calavito was used in his other pitching assignments. He's low again to Horton. It was in 1958. He pitched 3 innings. Walked 3, struck out 1, gave up no runs and no hits. He's behind Horton, 2 balls and no strikes. Steps back off the rubber. Kicks and throws. Horton hits a ground ball. Foul on the third base side. A real shot. Just like his double back in the third inning. But this one, instead of being fair by inches, was foul by inches. Almost hit the base runner, Mickey Stanley. Base runner at third as he comes down the line. If he knows what he's doing, he'll always be in foul territory. So if he's hit by a ground ball, he will not be out, and the batter will not be out. So the batter is never out when he hits a base runner with a ground ball. It's always the runner who is out. The batter is always credited with a base hit, but the runner at third does not want to be hit in fair territory and be eliminated. 2-1 pitch to Horton is outside. Ball 3, 3-1. Top of the fourth. Detroit 5, the Yankees nothing. There are 2 outs. There are runners at second and third. Rocky Colavito in relief of Steve Barber on the pitching mound. Glances at third. Looks down to Gibbs. Colavito brings the hands together. Kicks and deals. Horton pops up. See if Gibbs has a play. Probably not. It'll be on the screen. Out of reach. Count Bill's 3-2. It used to be in the major leagues that you had to designate your pitchers. In other words, if you had, say, a Steve Barber on the mound and a Colavito in right field, you wanted Colavito to pitch to one batter. You couldn't put Barber out in right and bring Colavito in to pitch and then change back again unless you had listed Colavito as a pitcher. But to get around that ruling, all clubs just listed all 25 of their men, designated them all as pitchers. So the rule was thereby abolished. It was just outmoded. So now anybody on your ball club can be used as a pitcher if the manager so desires. 3-2 coming to Willie Horton. He hits it out in the air into left field. Bill Robinson posts in under it. Makes the catch and the crowd is retired. Listen to the crowd. Colavito gets a standing ovation. It's unbelievable. Down to the first baseline, they're up on their feet. Tigers get a run on 2 hits. No errors and 2 left at the end of the top of the fourth. The score, Tigers 5, Yankees nothing. Here's the up as Mickey Mantle comes out to lead off the bottom half of the fourth inning. Mantle fouled out to the third baseman his first trip. Dobson throws. Mickey takes a strike on a breaking ball that rode in on the inside corner just above the knees. And the 0-1 pitch. High this time. Dobson working quickly with a 5-0 lead. Mantle needing 1 home run to move ahead of all-time great Jimmy Fox. 1-1 pitch. Hit on the ground, foul off the first base side. One and 2. To Mickey Mantle. Dobson throws. Mantle pops it up. Out near second base. The shortstop, Dick Trzezuski, is calling for it. Under it and makes the catch. Mantle is retired. 1 out. And right now on New York Yankee baseball, let's pause for station identification. 1 out. Pepitone, the batter. Joe lined out to the first baseman, Freehan, his first time up. Freehan made a leaping catch of the line drive. He swings on this one, looks one out in the shallow center. Stanley after it, cannot get it. He trapped the ball, and Pepitone has a base hit. Stanley made a diving try for it, but trapped it, and Pepitone has a single. Yankees' third hit of the game off Pat Dodson. batter is Andy Costco. Costco doubled his first time up. First pitch to him, curveball is popped up on the first base side foul. Freehan after it and makes the catch. Freehan, the first baseman, retires Costco. 2 outs, and the batter is Tommy Tresh. Bottom half of the fourth. Tigers leading 5-0.
Stanley still coming. Can't get it. Dropped into the base hit. Pepperstone down to second. And Fresh has a fly ball single to center. Hit number 4 for the Yankees, and the batter will be Bill Robinson. Robinson drew a walk his first time up. The only base on balls given up by Dobson. Dobson has not struck out anybody. Tigers leading 5-0. Dobson requests time, and he asks his catcher, Jim Price, to come out. Short stretch by Dobson. And the pitch to Bill Robinson. Low and outside. Ball one. Cleveland and Washington still tied 1-1 going to the 4th inning. 1-0 pitch to Robinson. Curveball is fouled back. Mets scored a run in the first, lead Cincinnati 1-0. Phillies and the Braves scoreless at the end of 1. Pirates and the Cardinals 0-0 at the end of 1. Chicago at Houston, San Francisco at Los Angeles, not yet underway. Cleveland-Washington game, the only other one in the American League that is underway. One ball, one strike to Bill Robinson. Dobson starts his move. Looks back to second for Pepperstone. Here's the pitch. Robinson hits the ground ball. It bounces down through the center field base hit. Pepperstone will score. Fresh round second and slips back ahead of the throw into second base. And are on the board. Pepperstone still looking on his left field now as he goes into the Yankee dugout. He wasn't looking coming around third and down across the plate, however. It's a 5-1 ball game as the Yankees break through on Dobson here in the 4th. Bill Robinson's 23rd run batted into the year. He's at first. Fresh is at second. The batter is Bobby Cox. Low outside pitch. Ball one. Two on. Dobson looks back and deals. Curveball is popped up in the shallow left field. Back goes Trubisky. In comes Horton. Trubisky makes the catch. And the side is retired. He almost collided with Willie Horton. They may have just brushed, but no harm done to either player. Cox is out on the pop-up to Trubisky, the shortstop. The Yankees get 1 run, 3 hits, no errors, and 2 men left. And at the end of 4, the score is Detroit 5 and the Yankees 1. We move along to the top of the 5th inning. First baseman Bill Freehan will lead off for Detroit, to be followed by Don Word and Jim Frank. Rocky Colavito on the mound for the Yankees. It's going to be interesting. See how long Colavito stays in. See just what he does while he's in there. Colavito, in the waning years, perhaps the waning weeks or waning days of a career, maybe starting a new one. Who knows? Colavito played his first game of professional baseball in 1951 at Daytona Beach in the Florida State League.
The game continues at the beginning of side 3.
Played in 6 All-Star games. And now pitching this afternoon against the Detroit Tigers. Ready to work to right-hand hitting Bill Freehan. Fastball is fouled on the ground down the third base line. Detroit 5 runs, 7 hits, no errors. The Yankees 1 run, 5 hits, and 1 error. One strike pitch. Breaking ball, and it's blown away. 1-1. Colavito takes a regular turn, pitching batting practice when he's not playing. He fires to Freehan and gets a strike in there. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Tell you one thing, Colavito's got the crowd with him. It was amazing when he came off the mound. After getting Horton on a fly ball to end the 4th inning, folks down the first base side stood up for him. He turns one over and misses outside with a 2-2. Steps back off the rubber, rubs up the baseball, steps on again. He does. He's got the pitcher's moves. 2-2 pitch. Freehan leans away from it. Ball 3 inside. Full count, 3-2. Colavito rubbing on the ball again. Next road trip coming up for the Yankees. Colavito and Barber will have something to talk about, won't they? He delivers. Freehan pops it up. Foul. Headed for the seats on the first base side. Comes down in the crowd. Colavito doesn't do any wind-up. Just brings his hands together. Doesn't try to hide the baseball from the view of the batter. And now he steps back on the grass, gets off the skin of the pitching rubber to rub on the baseball and mop the perspiration away with the left shoulder and left sleeve of his uniform shirt. Now steps on again. Brings his hands together, kicks and throws, and he's low with a fastball, and Freehan is on. First walk and the first base runner against Colavito. The batter will be Don Word, who has struck out and grounded out to the shortstop in 2 appearances. Fields Word, outside. So far against Colavito, maybe the only pitcher in the major leagues that has never been scored upon. Yes, we're smiling. 1-0 pitch. Foul back into the upper deck. Makes it 1 ball and 1 strike to Don Word. Rocco Domenico Colavito, born August 10th, 1933, right here in the Bronx. Makes his home now in Temple, Pennsylvania. One pitch to Word. High. 2 balls and a strike. In the major leagues, Colavito has been with Cleveland, Detroit, Kansas City, back to Cleveland, the White Sox, the Dodgers, and now the Yankees. Two-one pitch to Don Word. Ball outside, and the count is 3-1. strike two. Keith Morris, good buddy from Sports Illustrated, standing over here next to the booth, says that Colavito and Wirt are now neighbors over in Pennsylvania. At least Temple, PA, is sort of a suburb of Reading, and that's where Wirt lives, at Reading. Freehan leads away from first. 3-2 pitch. Freehan goes. Wirt pops it up. Foul on the first base side. Gibbs and Mantle both there. Gibbs calling for it, and Gibbs has it. So Wirt is retired. Freehan back to first base. One out, and Jim Price, the catcher, steps in. With the retirement of Don Wirt, has now pitched 4 hitless innings in his big league career, 1 in this game. The other 3 for Cleveland against Detroit. The pitch, outside, ball 1. And I'll bet when the writers talk to Colavito after this game, he'll say, well, you know, he said, I think my control was pretty good considering I'd had 10 years rest. 1-0 pitch. High. 2 balls and no strikes. Ball is high. Scoreboard, message board, welcomes the Binghamton, New York Baseball Club. And no strikes to Jim Price. Colavito kicks and deals, pours it right down the middle for a strike. It's 3-1. Wherever Colavito has played, he's been very popular with the fans. Delivers 3-1, and it's outside, ball 4. Price walks. That moves Freehan down to second, and Colavito gives up his second base on balls. The batter will be Tom Magic, the second baseman. You know, our baseball Western Union wire service that sends information around the country on half-inning scores, pitching changes, home runs. You imagine the surprise now. All the radio stations and ballparks around the country when they see the pitching change for the Yankees and see Colavito. Now, first thing those guys will want to know, is he really pitching or did he hit a home run? Magic swings and pops one high in the air down the first baseline. Mantle in fair territory is under it and makes the catch. There are 2 away. And now the pitcher, Pat Dobson. Dobson drew a walk from Barber in the 4th inning and scored run number 5 for Detroit. Barber walked 3, 2 of the walks scored. The pitch to Dobson. Fastball misses outside. Ball 1. Colavito again, mopping the perspiration away with the uniform shirt sleeve. Throws the rubber, looks straight down at his feet, now looks into Gibbs. Short stretch. Holds the set below the belt. Kicks and draws. Swing and a miss by Dobson. Ball on a strike. Tigers ahead, 5-1. There's a foul headed back into the upper deck. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes on Dobson. Mickey Stanley is on deck. 1-2 pitch. In the dirt, blocked by Gibbs. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two on, 2 gone. 2 balls and 2 strikes on number 22, Pat Dobson. Calavito's pitch to him. Fouled away again to the upper deck on the first base side. Calavito, one of the few in baseball history ever to hit 4 home runs in one Major League game. Dealing now, 2-2 to Dobson. Ground ball is hit towards Clark. Clark has it, makes his throw to Mantle in time, and the side again is retired by Calavito. No runs, no hits. No errors. 2 walks, 2 men left on base. And at the end of 4 1/2 innings, the score is Detroit 5 and the Yankees 1. Rocky Calavito will lead off as the hitter in the final half of the 4th inning. Calavito is batting .236. Dobson's pitch. Curveball is line foul with a streak down the left field side. Calavito's been up 55 times. 13 hits, 1 double, 1 triple, 2 home runs. 8 runs batted in. That's his record as a Yankee. He also had 3 home runs for the Dodgers before joining the Yankees. Next pitch to him. Drops in, but low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Over the plate, but low. Dobson winds and throws low again. 2 balls and a strike. Barber, before departing the game, had one of the Yankees' 5 base hits. Led off the 3rd inning with a single to right field, his first hit of the year. Now the 2-1 to Calavito. Fly ball is hit out into center field. Mickey Stanley, with the glasses down, is under it, makes the catch. 1 out. And now the second baseman, Horace Clark. 0 for 2 so far. Round about to shortstop, and then with Barber on first in the 3rd inning, Clark hit a ground ball to Magic, the second baseman. That was a controversial play where Magic tagged Barber, and Barber knocked him down. Umpire Bob Stewart ruled a double play. Clark sends a fly ball out into shallow left. Horton is there, pounds the glove, makes the catch, 2 away. And now Jake Gibbs. Gibbs has bounced back to the pitcher and grounded out to Freehan at first base unassisted. Two outs and nobody on. Tigers leading 5-1. Dobson rocks and throws outside. Ball 1. Mantle is on deck. And the 1-0 pitch is in there for a strike. Gibbs taking all the way. 1 ball, 1 strike. Gibbs scratches up a little dirt. Hands his hands together. Steps back in. 1-1 pitch from Pat Dobson. Low inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Swing and a miss by Gibbs, leaving the count. 2-2. Bright sun beating down. Scoreboard shows the Tigers 5 runs and 7 hits. The Yankees 1 run, 5 hits. Pat Dobson rocks back on the left foot. And the pitch. Gibbs pops it up in the shallow center. Mickey Stanley is under it. The center fielder makes the catch, and the side is retired. The Yankees go 3 up, 3 down with nothing across, and now at the end of 5 full innings of play, the score, Tigers 5 and the Yankees 1. Walking in a little wonderland. Ground crew has walked through its paces, smoothing the infield, getting ready for the top half of the 6th inning. And as the Detroit Tigers come up, they'll be starting off at the top of their batting order. And moving in behind the microphone to tell you all about the rest of this ball game this afternoon, here is Jerry Coleman. Jerry?
Okay, Frank, thank you very much. Had a little trouble getting in here, dropped my scorecard, and had to get things set. A 5-1 ball game as we go into the 6th inning. For the Detroit Tigers, facing Rocky Colavito. And that's a strange one to come up with. Colavito making his 2nd Major League pitching appearance. Still hasn't given up a base hit. Pitched 3 hitless innings back in 1958 and 1 1/3 so far in this ball game. Fires a fastball to Mickey Stanley. Ball 1 outside. Stanley is 2 for 3. Detroit leading 5-1. They've got 7 base hits. The Yankees have 5. All of the runs coming off Steve Barber. Colavito to Stanley. It's low, 2-0. And this is Colavito's biggest problem. He's had trouble with his control. Walked a couple of men in the 5th inning and was behind a few of the hitters. It's a warm day, so he'll have to stay out in front of these hitters if he's going to last out there. Fastball is in there by Colavito. 2 balls and 1 strike. Yankees coming into this ball game 2 under 500 with a record of 61 and 63. That's the closest they've been to 500 since May the 30th. They've won 10 of 13. Colavito fires. This one fouled off just to our right. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mickey Stanley came into the ball game batting at .256. The Yankees have 5 base hits, and 3 of them fell just in front of the outstretched glove of Mickey Stanley. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Stanley at the plate. Waiting. Colavito fires high, almost over the head of Gibbs, 3-2. Dick Trzaskowski on deck, Al Kaline to follow. I'd like to see Colavito be able to get that ball over more consistently. It's kind of tough, not being a regular pitcher to come in there and have that sharp control. But he is really rearing back. Here's the next one. The payoff pitch hit high in the air, right side, Mantle. With a chance at it near the railing, reaching in, and did he get it? No, he didn't get it. Somebody, a boy, stuck up his glove and took the ball out of Mantle's glove, right there. Mantle's glove was just a hair under the glove of the boy standing in the first row. And as we can see it, the boy took the ball away from Mickey, but John Flaherty, the first base umpire, made a flashing motion off his fingers as if to say the ball tipped off Mantle's glove. Well, there's a great example of how a spectator can change the complexion of the ball game. Mantle was waiting for that ball. It appeared as though he had it, and the boy just stuck up his glove and took it away from him. Now, had that ball been on the field side of the fence, the batter could have been called out, but it was in the stands, and Mantle was just reaching in. And the kid just took it away from him. I'd love to talk to Mickey about that. The next one is Stanley. Hit the right field. Waiting for it is Costco, and he's got it one away. Right now, it's New York Yankee baseball. Let's pause for station identification.
Join me, Bill Edwardson, weekday morning, 7 to 10, here on WGY 10 on your dial, Schenectady.
Dick Trzaskowski has walked, singled twice. He's 2 for 2. Scored a couple of runs. Hit this one in the air behind the plate. Gibbs coming over near the railing, and he doesn't get it. There was a spectator there. Jake didn't get to the ball. The ball flicked off the spectator's hands. Just about the time it did, Gibbs came barreling in and almost took the spectator with him. Strike 1 the count. When Colavito gets the ball over and the batters swing, they've been popping up. Top of the 6th inning, Detroit 5, Yankees 1. Colavito into the windup. Serve is just outside. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Tony Cuccinello coaching at third base. At first base, Wally Moses. Detroit leading the league by 6.5 coming into today's action. Rocky fires a fastball into Trubisky. It's inside, 2 balls and 1 strike. It's the first time Colavito had questioned or has questioned the call of the plate umpire, Marty Springstead. Infield and outfield about straight away with Trubisky up there and not too deep. 2-1 pitch. Trubisky swings and misses. 2-2. Fastball on the letter. Colavito came on for Barber in the 4th inning. So far has gone along unscathed. He's been a little erratic with his control, and that's all. 2-2 pitch on the way. Curve is high. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Colavito doesn't have much of a curveball, but he's got a good fastball. All these doubleheaders coming up. Out going to Colavito. The next one is fouled off by Trubisky. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Yankees have another game to play today. They've got 2 tomorrow night. First one at 5 o'clock. 2 on Tuesday afternoon, and the first one starts at 1. Doubleheader tomorrow and Tuesday against the California Angels. Strike 3 called, and Trubisky is caught looking. That's Colavito's first strikeout. You don't think the fans here at Yankee Stadium aren't for Rocky Colavito? Oh, brother, everything he does, they roar. Now Al Kaline is coming on, and Kaline is the first batter that Colavito has pitched to before. He's gone through the first 9 men. Now Kaline coming up for a second chance at Colavito. Al takes a curve that's low for ball 1. Everybody feeling each other out. Colavito feeling out the hitters. The hitters feeling out Colavito. But now they've seen him. Let's see what happens on this next go-round. 2 out, nobody on. The pitch. Kaline fouls it back. Out of play over our head. 1 ball, 1 strike. Colavito, a big blessing for manager Ralph House with his pitching shortage and all these games coming up. Rocky, the 1-1 pitch to Kaline, hit hard into left center. That's in for a base hit. Could be 2. Kaline around first is going to try for it. Pepitone's throw is not in time, and Kaline's got a double. That's his 3rd hit of the afternoon. A double into left center, the first hit off Colavito. Now Willie Horton is coming on. He's walked, doubled, fly to left. Incidentally, Al Kaline gets the first major league hit off Rocky Colavito. Colavito. At the set position. Kicks, delivers. Horton hits one high in the air behind the plate. Gibbs no chance to get to it. It's been dropped in the seat. 1 strike to count. In the 6th inning, Cleveland 4 and the Senators 4, and we'll be along at the end of 6 full innings of play to bring you a rundown of all the games in both the American and the National. One strike to count on Willie Horton. Colavito sets the pitch way outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. We mentioned California coming in for a twilight doubleheader. You know what they have to do? They're playing Oakland on the West Coast, and they could get that all-night flight, which brings in about 6 o'clock in the morning, unless they have a charter flight. And that doubleheader tomorrow night. Fastball outside to Willie Horton by Colavito. 2 balls and 1 strike. Detroit leading the Yankees 5-1. We're in the 6th inning with 2 outs. At second base, Al Kaline. balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. K-line at second. Colavito kicks. Here it is. Horton waiting. Line drive, third baseman. Oh, boy, that was hit. Bobby Cox picking off the line drive by Willie Horton. No runs, a hit, and 1 left on the score after 5.5. Detroit 5 runs on 8 hits. The Yankees 1 run on 5. Mickey Mantle waiting. Curve is inside for a ball. Mantle and Horace Clark had an unusual thing. When they came into this game, they were batting the same from the right and from the left side. Mickey takes high and outside, 2-0. Clark is batting .221, both right-handed and left-handed. Mantle, .230, both right-handed and left-handed. 3 balls and no strikes now to Mickey. A fastball by Dobson, just a little low. Pepitone on deck. The 3-0 pitch to Mantle. Right in there. 3 balls, 1 strike. Pat Dobson ready again. The right-hander into the windup. Fires. A ground ball well hit to the second baseman. Tom Matrick is up with it. Over to Freehan. Mantle is out of there. So Mickey now is 0 for 3. Here's Joe Pepitone. Hit a line drive to the first baseman, Bill Freehan, in the second. Singled to center and scored the only Yankee run in the fourth. One down, Joe Pepitone, the batter. Pepitone came into the ball game at 2:44. 1 for 2, takes a strike. Curveball at the knees. Turned around and said something to Springstead. Not much. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Dobson to Pepitone. Curveball. He swings and misses. Strike 2. Pepitone is really giving it to Springstead on that first call. Probably saying something like, well, look what you did to me. Now you called that first one a strike, and I swung at a bad ball. That'll happen sometimes. You get a little bit restless up there, afraid to take a pitch if you think the umpire has taken one away from you. 2-strike delivery by Dobson to Pepitone. On the ground to the second baseman, Matrick. Makes an easy play out of it. 2 up, 2 down. Mantle bouncing out to second, and now Pepitone. Andy Costco dropped a double in front of Mickey Stanley in the second. Foul to first in the fourth. Two out, nobody on. Costco waiting. Dobson delivers on the corner for a strike. Curveball is outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Now an exchange of baseballs. It's a warm, hot day. It was 93 degrees a moment ago. Good day for the spectators. Tough on the players. There's a high pop on the right side. Jim Price over by the Yankee dugout. Can't get to it. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Andy Costco. Costco came into the game batting an even .230. Pat Dobson, the right-hander, getting the sign from his catcher Price. Ready. The 1-2 pitch to Costco. Curveball hit on the ground, foul. The Twins kicking off the fence on the left side. Frank Prissetti after it. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Tresh on deck. Costco waiting. Dobson fires a changeup that misses outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Twilight doubleheader tomorrow night. It'll be Al Downing and Fritz Peterson going up against the California Angels. And that first game starts at 5 o'clock. Costco hits one to left field, high in the air. Willie Horton in the gap in left center. Moving over there. It hit him. The ball hit him. He lost it in the sun. And Costco is on at second base with a double. It looked like he had it all the way. I thought it hit him in the head, but apparently not. He just went down. He lost that ball in the sun. Horton apparently doesn't have glasses. It may have hit him in the neck. Trying to see if he's got glasses. He's got his hat off right now. He had that ball all the way, and then suddenly it hit him. He does have glasses. Mayo Smith waving out there, something to the effect, get your glasses down on those balls. He had the ball all the way. I don't know where it hit him. It hit him in the neck or in the shoulder. At first I thought the head. But Costco is at second base. We still don't have a ruling on a hit or an error at this point. Tommy Tresh is at the plate right now. Takes ball 1. They're giving Costco a double. It's just being flashed on the board. Tommy Tresh waiting. Costco at second. The 1-0 delivery. It's low and in the dirt. 2 balls and no strikes. That was an easy fly ball. Horton was just waiting for it. It was on its way down, and suddenly it hit him, and down he went. For a moment, we thought he was hit on the head, but apparently not. High on the shoulder, or around the neck area. And Costco's got himself a double. The 2-0 pitch to Tresh is outside. 3 balls and no strikes. So that little play right there could be a big one. We'll have to wait and see. Tommy Tresh is 1 for 2. Pop to second, single to center. It isn't often that we've seen a ball player lose a ball the way Horton did and take it somewhere in the neck or head area. Tresh takes a fastball down the middle. 3 balls and 1 strike. Detroit leading 5-1. Costco at second base. Bottom of the 6th. 2 outs. 3 balls, 1 strike on Tresh. Pat Dobson, the right-hander. Set, delivers, and Tommy takes high, ball 4. So the play by Willie Horton could prove costly. Dobson is tired, no question about it. It's hot out there, and here comes Mayo Smith to talk to him. That was only the second walk given up by Dobson. So what the ball that was dropped by Horton did, it gave Costco a double. It made Dobson continue to pitch to Tresh. He walked him. And now Bill Robinson is coming on, who's got a walk and a single. He's driven in the only Yankee run in the 4th. Runners at first and second, 2 outs, and the Yankees trailing by 4, a 5-1 ball game. The Yankee pitchers tomorrow, Downing and Peterson. For the California Angels, Bennett and McLaughlin. Bill Robinson is moving in. Robbie 1 for 1. Facing Pat Dobson. Runners at first and second. Dobson sets, delivers. Robinson hits one to left. It's on its way. It's out of here. Has just brought the Yankees back in this ball game. A 3-run home run into the seats in left. And now at the plate is Bobby Cox, who takes low and outside, ball 1. It's Detroit 5 and the Yankees 4. And oh, baby, the stew is starting to boil. There's a ground ball foul. Thanks to Teddy. Has it on the short hop and gets a big hand from the fans. A lost ball in the sun by Horton. A walk to Tresh. The home run by Robinson, and the Yankees are right back in it. Last of the sixth, 5-4. Detroit leading by 1. The 1-1 pitch to Bobby Cox. Curve misses outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. The next one to Cox. Hit to left field. Way down there. And it's a home run. It's all tied up. Just rolling right along with a 5-1 lead. 2 outs, nobody on, bottom of the sixth. Bosco hit a lazy, long fly ball to left field. Horton walked it in the sun. It hit him on the neck. Then Tommy Tresh walked. Bosco got credit for a double. Robinson homered to make it 5-4, and Bobby Cox has tied it up with another home run. And it's all tied up at 5 apiece. How do you like that? Unbelievable turn of events. Darrell Patterson is coming on to do the pitching. Both teams with 5 runs, both teams with 8 hits. The Yankees at one time trailed 5-0. Then they scored a run in the 4th, and now 4 here in the 6th inning. Bill Robinson's home run was his 4th and 87th of the year for the Yankees. Bobby Cox hit his 6th and 88th of the year for the Yankees. Unbelievable turn of events. The Yankees, who've won 10 of their last 13, the hottest team in the major league, trailing 5-0, have now tied it up. 2 outs. Darrell Patterson is coming in, and Rocky Colavito will be the hitter. 4 runs across. Pat Dobson went 5 2/3 innings. Gave up 8 base hits. Walked 2 men. Didn't strike out anybody. And allowed 5 runs. So Patterson can't win it, and he can't lose it. Check that. Dobson can't win it, and he can't lose it. Patterson will be the pitcher of record. Darrell Patterson coming on for Pat Dobson to face Rocky Colavito, who's been in there pitching since the 4th inning. Patterson, 1-2, lost 2, during his 32nd game. Earned run average 1.76. Colavito stepping in. Rocky fly to center in the 5th. Waiting. Patterson delivers a curve outside, ball 1. The Yankees have somebody going in the bullpen right now. You can see Jim Hegan doing some work out there. Now that the Yankees are back in this ball game, they got the bullpen going. Colavito takes high. 2 balls and no strikes. A lost ball in the sun by Willie Horton started it all, and the Yankees tied it up. Patterson ready. Colavito takes high. 3 balls, no strikes. Unbelievable turn of events. Patterson, the right-handed, fires again, and Colavito takes ball 4. He draws a walk. Horace Clark is coming on. He's 0 for 3. Bounced to short, hit into a double play. That was a double play where Barber interfered with Tom Matchuk, and Clark was called out at first, even though he wasn't thrown out. And then Horace flied to left. 0 for 3. Patterson sets, delivers, and Clark takes high. Ball 1. Patterson, born in Coalinga, California, attends the College of Sequoias. 24 years old. He's a big guy, 6'4", 200-pounder. He was drafted as a first-year player from the Los Angeles Dodger farm system in 64. This is his first big league year, and he's doing well. Patterson waiting. Sets, delivers, and Clark takes. Strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Five tie. Last of the 6th. Colavito at first. Clark waiting. Hits one to right field. A base hit. Rocky Colavito on his way to third. And the Yankees have runners at first and third. This inning will be Jake Gibbs. First 2 men, Mantle and Pepitone, bounced to second. And then it all started. Gibbs 0 for 3. Runners at first and third. Patterson delivers. Base hit. The Yankees go out in front. Colavito scores. Horace Clark to third.
The game continues on side 4 after a short delay.
You'd never believe it if you didn't see it. The Yankees have 5 big runs. They lead 6-5 in the last of the 6th inning. And the man that started it all off, Mickey Mantle, is coming on for his second at-bat in this inning, the bottom of the 6th. The noise here is deafening as Patterson gets a sign from his catcher. Mantle waiting. Fouls one off. Strike 1. Horace Clark at third base. Jake Gibbs at first. He's in the tie-breaking run. Yankees have 5 big ones. Mantle waiting. Patterson sets. The next one is high. 1 ball, 1 strike to Mickey. Deep in the batter's box. Darrell Patterson with a sign. Comes set. The right-hander. Kick. The pitch. Right field. Way back there. And that's the pitch is Al Kaline. A sinking line drive. It was hit. That ball sunk. Kaline right in front of the 344 marker. Hauled it in. Or the Yankees would have been going yet. For the Yankees, 5 runs. On 5 base hits. 2 men left. And the score after 6 full innings of play, Yankees 6, the Tigers 5. Vito has left the ball game, and Dooley Womack comes on to do the pitching here in the 7th inning. The Yankees are leading 6-5. Let me recap that last inning for you. Mantle opened up by bouncing out to second. Pepitone did the same. 2 outs. Then Costco hit a long, lazy fly ball to Willie Horton in left field, and Horton was perched under it, drifting toward his left, and suddenly the ball struck him around the neck area. We thought in the head at first. Costco ended up with a double. Horton, incidentally, did not have his glasses down and lost the ball in the sun. Thrush then walked, and Robinson homered to make it 5-4. Bobby Cox followed with a home run to tie it up at 5 apiece. Colavito walked, and successive singles by Clark and Gibbs made it 6-5. And that's the way it stands with Bill Freehan up there in the top of the 7th. He takes the curveball from Dooley Womack for ball 1. What a ball game. Freehan takes outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Colavito served the purpose that he was sent for, holding the Tigers in check. The Yankees have now gone in front, and now they're back to their regular pitcher, Dooley Womack. He drive off the glove of Bobby Cox. Cox got his glove to it. Freehan rounds first and holds on. The ball gets by Clark, but a nice backup by Mickey Mantle saved the day. Right now, it's New York Yankee baseball. It's pause for station identification.
Harry Downey asking you to join me weekdays, 3 to 6 p.m. here on WGY 810 on your dial, Schenectady.
John Wirt with Bill Freehan at first base representing the tying run. It's a 6-5 game. Yankees leading. Wirt takes the fastball. It's low. The ball that Freehan hit was a wicked line drive that kicked just barely off the glove of Bobby Cox as it went by. Womack to Wirt. Curve is high and inside. 2 balls and no strikes. Norm Cash is in the on-deck circle. He'll be coming on as a hitter for Jim Price, the catcher. That means Cash will probably stay in the game and go to first, and Freehan will move behind the plate. Dooley Womack getting a chance to pitch on his birthday. Today is Womack's birthday. Fastball is low to Don Wirt, 3-0. Dooley Womack, 29 years old today, has given up a base hit to Freehan, and he's 3-0 on Don Wirt with Norm Cash in the on-deck circle. The next one, ball 4, runners at first and second. Don Wirt goes down to first. Norm Cash is a scheduled batter. Ralph House started out of the Yankee dugout, and the minute he did, Cash was called back, and now I believe Houck is going to wait to find out whether or not Price will come to the plate, and he is right now. The minute that Houck went out, he took a look at Cash, and then Cash walked back to the Detroit dugout, and Jim Price came out, who's the regular hitter in this spot. And the minute that happened, Houck just turned around and came back. Apparently, Jim Price may be sent up to bunt. We'll wait and see. Price is bounced to third, fly to left, and walk. Runners at first and second, Freehan at second, Wirt at first. Womack running into some trouble. Price squares and takes low and outside, ball 1. And Womack having all kinds of trouble right now. Yankees with 5 in the 6th lead, 6-5. Womack ready. The 1-0 pitch. Price squares and bunts this one foul down the third base side. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, Tony Cuccinello, the third base coach, flashing all kinds of signs into Jimmy Price. The manager will switch once in a while. Let's see if Mayo Smith does. What an unbelievable turn of events. I can't say enough. Pat Dodson moving right along, and suddenly the roof fell in. Price waiting, squares again, takes a curve over his head. 2 balls, 1 strike. Jim Price. Apparently sacrificing all the way thus far. On deck is Tom Macick. Behind him, the pitcher, Darrell Patterson. Womack set. Price squares and takes low. 3 balls and 1 strike. Mantle still in at first base, looking for the bunt. Jim Price waiting. Squares and bunts it in the air. Womack has it. Could be a double play. It is. Bill Freehan doubled off second base on the bunt that was in the air. Womack moving toward the line. Backhanded it. And for a minute, I thought we might have a triple play. But Don Wirt recovered in time to get back to first, and Freehan was doubled off second. That play went 1-6. The Yankees getting a big break there. Attempted sacrifice had backfired into a double play. Don Wirt at first. 2 down. The batter now is Tom Macick. He's 0 for 3. What a thrilling ball game. Say, I'll tell you, we've got more baseball. Another game coming up right after this one. For the Yankees, Fred Talbot. For Detroit, Mickey Lolich. Still plenty of time to see the end of this one, which is thrilling enough. And another one on top of it. The Yankees 6. Tigers 5. New York with 10 hits. Detroit 9. The pitch to Macick is low by Dooley Womack. Ball 1. The 1-0 pitch is high and outside. 2 balls and no strikes. The Yankees sending 10 men to the plate in the bottom of the 6th to go ahead. Back-to-back home runs by Robinson and Cox tied it up. Walk to Colavito, singles by Clark and Gibbs put the Yanks ahead. Macick fouls it at the plate. 2 balls and 1 strike. Tom Macick, young infielder, batting from the left side. Macick is playing second base in place of Dick McAuliffe, and the Tigers have really missed Dick. He's been suspended for 5 days. Not games, but days. I think he'll be out through Tuesday. A tough break for Detroit in a spot like this. Ground ball, Clark to his right. Flips to Tresh for the force on Wirt, and the Yankees get out of it. The play going 4-6, fourth play. Wirt at second base. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left, and the score after 6.5. The Yankees 6, Tigers 5. Last half of the 7th inning, it'll be Pepitone, Costco, and Tommy Tresh for the Yankees. Defensively, Jim Price is still behind the plate. Bill Freehan is first for Detroit. Tom Macick at second. Dick Trubisky at short. Don Wirt at third. Willie Horton left. Mickey Stanley center. Al Kaline in right. Darrell Patterson, a big right-hander, on the mound. Pepitone is waiting. Patterson fires, and Pepe takes high and outside. Ball 1. Patterson right now is the pitcher of record for Detroit. He gave up the run that put the Yankees ahead. And the pitcher of record for the Yankees, Rocky Colavito. The 1-0 pitch to Pepitone on the ground. Freehan will make the play unassisted. Pepitone, who's had a bad heel, when he doesn't have to, doesn't run hard if he can help it. One up, one down, last of the seventh. Andy Costco, who started all the fireworks with a double off the neck of Willie Horton. One he lost in the sun. At that time, Detroit was leading 5-1. The Yankees came from there after two were down to get 5 big ones and move ahead 6-5. Costco ground ball. Nice play by Wirtz. There as he backhands it. Throws to Freehan in plenty of time. John Wirtz, so underestimated. I'll tell you, you have to watch this fellow to watch him. He made that play look easy. It was a tough backhanded half hop. He made it look like picking cherries off a tree. Turned the play in easily, and Costco is out. John Wirtz, no question about the ability of that young man. He can play third base. Tommy Tresh, 2 up, 2 down. He takes a curve, the tie from Patterson. Ball 1. Last half of the 7th inning. Yankees 6 runs, 10 hits. Detroit 5 runs and 9. The Yankees, in the first 2 decisions, won them both. Mel Stottlemyre bested Dennis McLain yesterday 2-1. Tommy Tresh takes high and outside 2-0. Stan Bonson in that first game of the Twine-Nighter the other night, won that one 2-1. And then that 19-inning 3-3 tie is the reason we're playing a doubleheader here today. Fastball is outside to Tresh, 3 balls and no strikes. Detroit does not return again to Yankee Stadium. This is it. The Yankees do go to Detroit. 3-0 delivery to Tresh. It's high and outside, ball 4. That's the second walk given up by Darrell Patterson. Bill Robinson getting a standing ovation by some of the fans here. He was the guy who really propelled the Yankees back in the ballgame. After Costco got the double and Tresh walked, he homered to make it 5-4. Curveball drops right in there, strike 1. The Yankees came into this ballgame with a record of 61-63, 2 under 500. They haven't been that close to 500 since May the 30th. 1 strike pitch to Robbie. Curve is inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Robinson waiting. Bill is 2 for 2. He's driven in 4 runs in this game. 1 in the dirt, and a nice play by Jim Price, holding Tommy Tresh at first. That ball was a curveball. It kicked well in front of the plate, and Price kept the ball in front of him, holding Tresh at first. Fine play by the catcher. Catchers are probably the most underrated ball players on a ball club. So many things happen like that fans pay no attention to at all, and yet they're extremely difficult plays. You only notice them when they don't occur, if the plays aren't made. Robbie takes a curve outside, 3 balls, 1 strike. Robinson with a walk, a single, a home run, has driven in 4, scored once, 2 for 2. Bill Robinson's best day of the year. Robbie has 26 RBIs. That home run was his 4th. Last half of the 7th. The Yankees are leading 6-5. Tresh at first. 3-1 on Robinson. 2 outs. Patterson sets the pitch to Robbie. It's hit high in the air. Right field. Not very deep. Matchett going back. Kaline coming on. There's a collision, but not a hard one. And Matchett makes the play, but steps on Al Kaline. And Kaline is hobbling off. I don't believe that he is injured seriously, but he apparently did get stepped on slightly. Robinson flying out to the second baseman. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left, and the score after 7 innings of play. It's the Yankees 6 and the Tigers 5. Daniel has a 1.46 earned run average. His record, 2 wins, no losses, 7 saves. He's making his 16th appearance. All of this since coming on in midseason. He's been the big difference. He's been the big man in the bullpen, the guy, the stopper that you must have back there. So he's being called on again to do it again, and he'll go up against Norm Cash. Cash can change the complexion of a ball game in 1 swipe. 19 home runs, 45 RBIs. Cash batting .251. I didn't realize this, but talking to Norm before the game, he's been up just over 300 times. He hasn't played too much. You remember early in the year, he and Matthews were alternating at first, and Stanley was playing first against left-hand pitching. Cash waiting. McDaniels delivers. There's a swing and a miss, strike one. If anybody wants to point to the reason the hitters and their averages are so low, I think you can point to the bullpen as much as any place. McDaniel delivers. Cash misses outside. 1 ball and 1 strike on Norm Cash. Womack went only 1 inning. It was kind of a disrupted inning. Cash on the ground. Mantle has it. Flips to McDaniel. In time, 1 away. 31 men in a row for Lindy McDaniel. Play going 3-1. Womack, we mentioned, had a little tough time with it. Bill Freeman got a single. John Wirt walked. And then Jim Price attempting to bunt. Sacrifice the runners along. Bunted a line drive that Womack grabbed backhanded and doubled Freeman off. It was a big break for the Yankees in that spot. 1 down. Here's Mickey Stanley. 2 for 4. Waiting. Swing and a miss as McDaniel shows him that forkball. Lindy McDaniel, the 4th Yankee pitcher, and the Yankees are leading 6-5. Those 5 big runs in the 6th inning put them out in front. Stanley takes outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Gates Brown has moved into the on-deck circle for Dick Trzaskowski. Lindy McDaniel into the windup. There's a drive to right. Well hit. But right there is Andy Costco. Two up and 2 down. And now the pinch hitter par excellence, Gates Brown, coming on. Gates Brown, 16 pinch hits, are the most for a Tiger since Vic Wirtz had 17 back in 1962. As a pinch hitter, Brown is hitting .516, 16 for 31, batting .397 overall. What a year. Left-hand batter with power. Takes one high. It's ball 1. And McDaniel knows that this guy can hit him. Brown has 4 home runs, 3 of those as a pinch hitter. 11 RBIs, 6 RBIs as a pinch hitter. Powerful man. Back from the plate, holds the bat on the end, waiting. Lindy McDaniel getting the sign from his catcher. The 1-0 delivery is just outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Cash batting for Patterson. Bounced out to Mantle. Stanley lined out to Costco and right. 2 down. 8th inning. Yankees leading 6-5. Lindy McDaniel called on again. Ready. Kicks. Delivers. Curveball hit hard to right, and it's a base hit. Off the wall. Costco is after it. Brown, who can run, is into second base easily with a double. Gates Brown, unbelievable. His 17th pinch hit. And he is now tied Vic Wirtz for the most recorded pinch hits by a Tiger in the club's history, because the statistics about pinch hitters are uncertain before 1954. Gates Brown has just tied Vic Wirtz for most pinch hits by a Tiger, and more important, he's a tying run. He's on at second base, 2 outs. And Mr. Al Kaline, one of the all-time greats, is there. McDaniel delivers. It's outside, ball 1. That's the first batter to reach base off Lindy McDaniel after retiring 32 in a row. Al Kaline, 3 for 4, has driven in a run, scored 1. Yankees leading 6-5. Here's the pitch. Kaline, a half swing, called strike 1. That's the forkball. Lindy McDaniel moving into the meat of this Tiger ball club. Kaline, Horton, Freehan. They've all hit. They've all got power. Yankees 6, Tigers 5. 1-1 the count on Kaline. Here's the pitch. Fouled off on the right side. That'll go into the stands out of play. Both teams with 10 base hits. For those of you who may have just tuned in, Rocky Colavito with the Tigers ahead of the Yankees 5-0 came on to pitch. He went 2 2/3 innings and did not give up a run. Gave up only one hit. Walked a couple, struck out a batter. And then after the Yankees went ahead, Womack came in for an inning, and now McDaniel. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Kaline, a chopper toward the right side. Clark up with a flip to McDaniel, who's covering at first. And the side is retired, and Moses and Kaline are arguing with John Flaherty that McDaniel is off the base. Here comes Mayo Smith. Mayo Smith on the run. He wants to know about it. Well, we'll have to wait. But right now, after 7.5, the Yankees lead the Detroit Tigers 6-5. Don McMahon, veteran right-hander. Came up in 1957. Been around a long time. The Yankees, 6 runs, 10 hits, 1 error. Detroit, 5 runs, 10 hits, and no errors. The Yankees have won 10 of their last 13, are 2 under 500, trying to make it 11 of 14. They'd love to make it 12 of 15 to pick up that second game if they can. The Detroit Tigers leading the American League by 6.5 before the action today, battling and scrambling to stay up there. Still a month to go this baseball season. 5 weeks from today to be exact. A swing and a miss by Bobby Cox off the slants of Don McMahon. It's strike 1. Bottom of the 8th, just getting underway. Yankees leading by a run. McMahon ready again. Third ball misses outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Lindy McDaniel is in there for the Yankees. Been an Iron Man in the last month and a half. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Cox. Way outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Darrell Patterson is the pitcher of record for Detroit right now, and guess who for the Yankees? Rocky Colavito. 2-1 delivery to Bobby Cox. Fouls it on the left side. Frank Purcell goes after it and then says nuts and lets it go. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Fine crowd on hand here. A big crowd for this Sunday doubleheader. 2 more tomorrow night. First one at 5. 2 more on Tuesday. The first one starts at 1. Both of those doubleheaders tomorrow night and Tuesday against the California Angels. Don McMahon ready. Delivers, and Cox swings and misses strike 3. Got him on a curveball. Lindy McDaniel getting quite a hand as he steps in. Don McMahon on the mound for Detroit, making his 39th appearance of the year, has a record of 4-1. Earned run average 1.93. Lindy McDaniel, the veteran right-hand pitcher against the veteran right-hander for Detroit, McMahon. There's a foul off to our right. Strike 1. McDaniel, 0 for 9. In those 9 official at-bats, he struck out 7 times. Lindy is not much of a hitter, as you can see. Serve is way outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. And now let's pause for station identification.
This is WGY, a General Electric Broadcasting Company station in Schenectady.
McMahon, the right-hander, ready again. Fires, and McDaniel takes it. Strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Don McMahon, ready again. The 1-2 pitch, swung on a miss, strike 3. Lindy McDaniel going down swinging. Second strikeout for McMahon. Now here's Horace Clark. Clark 1 for 4. If you want to look ahead, it'll be Willie Horton, Bill Freehan, and Don Wirt going up against Lindy McDaniel in the top of the ninth, with the Yankees leading right now 6-5. Donald John McMahon, born in Brooklyn, New York, 1930. An attempted bunt by Clark. He pulls his bat out of the way. It's ball 1. McMahon, 6'2", 220 pounds, 38 years old. Veteran right-hander, ready again. The 1-0 pitch to Clark, low and inside. 2 balls and no strikes. McMahon still has the good stuff. He started with the Milwaukee Braves in 57. Went to Houston, and then to Cleveland, to Boston, Chicago, and now here to Detroit this year. His third club in 60... wait a minute. He was with Chicago. It's only his second club. There's a ground ball to Norm Cash. Clark is out of there unassisted. 3 up and 3 down, and the score after 8 full innings of play: the Yankees 6 and the Tigers 5. Willie Horton, so far in the game, has walked, doubled, lined hard to third. Lindy McDaniel trying to hang on to give this Yankee win to Rocky Colavito if they can hang in there and stay ahead. McDaniel into the windup, pitch, delivers, and Horton swings a big one and misses strike 1. Willie Horton hit one in the bullpen yesterday, obviously going for it. A big swing. This is probably one of the most dangerous men in baseball, Willie Horton. You can't make a mistake. He can drive a ball out of this ballpark in just about any direction if he gets a hold of it. Horton. Waiting. McDaniel kicks, delivers, swings, and misses strike 2. I say, I'd love to have a picture of this, but right at the end of my microphone is a grasshopper staring me down eyeball to eyeball. What a shot. He's right there. He's not 5 inches from my nose. He's looking at me, and I'm looking at him. I thought it was a spider at first. It was. I'd have left. 2 strikes on Horton. Willie Horton leading off the 9th inning. Lindy McDaniel trying to save the ball game for the Yankees. Ready. The 2-strike pitch. High and tight. 1 ball and 2 strikes. You better not get any closer. Got a grasshopper, I'd say 5 inches away from the end of this microphone where I'm talking, looking right at me, waving his antennas and his feelers around. The 1-2 pitch now to Horton in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Lindy McDaniel against Willie Horton. That's the way it matches up. 1-on-1. Horton taking his time. Stands even with the plate. Straightaway stance, waiting, holds the bat high, and there's here. The 2-2 pitch. Swings and misses strike 3. And a good forkball. A beauty. Willie Horton went after it. Missed it. Struck out, 1 away. Top of the 9th inning. Yankees leading 6-5. Well, the grasshopper just took off, thank goodness, in the opposite direction. Here's Bill Freehan. Bounced to third twice, walked and singled. Freehan, a slow ground ball to short. Chesh up with it. Throws in time on a close play. It was a check swing bouncer that stayed low on the grass, out to short. Fresh had to charge it. He got it, and just did nail Bill Freehan at first base. 2 up and 2 down, and now Don Wirt steps in. Don Wirt, the only man between the Detroit Tigers and the New York Yankees right now. The only man that can change the complexion of this ball game as of the moment. The Yankees are leading 6-5. Wirt is waiting. He takes one in there. Strike one. Brown is struck out. Bounced to short. Foul to the catcher. Walk. Jim Northrup is in the on-deck circle. He'll be hitting for Price if he gets a chance. One strike pitch. Swung on a miss. Strike two. McDaniel, who came on in the 7th inning, makes that the 8th inning, gave up the double to Gates Brown as a pinch hitter, and that's all so far. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Yankees ahead, 6-5, 9th inning. Don Wirt swings the bat. McDaniel kick. Here it is. Wirt on the ground. It's fresh at short. He has it, bobbles it, and can't make a play. Tommy Tresh had the ball, couldn't get it in his hand. He pulled it out. As he grabbed at it, it went straight up in the air by about 2 feet. He grabbed at it again, and it was too late. They're giving Tresh an error. And now, Jim Northrup, who can hit the ball out of the park, steps in. The Tigers are still alive. Northrup, left-hand hitter, coming on to face McDaniel. Been a crazy ball game. Northrup, batting .237, hits one hopper to Mantle at first. The ball game is over. Jim Northrup on the first pitch bounces out to Mantle, unassisted. And very suddenly, this ball game is over. The Yankees winning it by a score of 6-5.